Field of 8 pacers lining up, picking up speed. Here they come. They're off. Good start. 4 horses showing early speed. On the outside, it's Heatermiler. In between horses, Chalet Inheritance. On the inside, Beppy's Guy. Off stride in between horses, Chalet Inheritance. Beppy's Guy now inherits the lead. Leads it by a length. On the outside, Heatermiler up to challenge. Wish I Was Rich. Racing in third, Pantanic. Comes through on the inside. On the outside, after the miscue, Chalet Inheritance. Chief Carey, Holly Hill Maestro. And your trailer is Silky Charger. They're off the quarter, 29-4. Pace unsettling. Now Wish I Was Rich. Quickly up to grab the track a length for Morgan. The favorite has the lead. Midway around the turn, Beppy's Guy will take the trip. Heatermiler racing third. Pantanic is fourth. On the outside, Silky Charger now surging fifth. Chief Carey saves ground. Holly Hill Maestro now joins the outer flow. Far back, Chalet Inheritance. No change up top. Wish I Was Rich, the leader by the half, a minute 4/5. Wish I Was Rich leads the way. Silky Charger now pressuring. Beppy's Guy right there in the pocket. On the outside, Chief Carey getting a good second over Journey. Holly Hill Maestro is poised for Heitman. On the inside, Heatermiler, Pantanic is fourth over. Then a big break to Chalet Inheritance. Midway up the backstretch, Wish I Was Rich. Silky Charger continues to pressure. 3/4, 132-1. Wish I Was Rich, Silky Charger. Still out there second. On the inside, Beppy's Guy. Right there in behind the leader. Chief Carey in between horses. Here comes Holly Hill Maestro rallying from fifth. Top of the stretch, Wish I Was Rich leads. Silky Charger is still there. Beppy's Guy along the inside. Down the stretch, Wish I Was Rich has now put this field away. It's all Wish I Was Rich. Close for second. Fast closing. Heatermiler maybe over Silky Charger. The mile.
Actually both finished 1-2 in that qualifier. Let's talk about the rest of the field. 2 Chiefs Frost drops shipping in from Fairmount. 3 Pete the Cheat needs to improve. Basically the same with 4 HP's Legacy, but HP's Legacy did need the start. 5 Hal's Finale.
Off the turn. Here they come. They're off. Wicked Mask left well. On the outside, it's Compliance. Also coming away, Mossy Creek for Jacobs. And on the inside, Ty Cobb Hanover. In between horses, it's Wicked Mask. On the inside, Ty Cobb Hanover. As they vie for position. Compliance now slides through and takes over third. A length ahead of Hampton's Jim Bob on the outside. Here comes Mossy Creek, sent aggressively after the lead. After all, behind him, a length back to Weathered, and your trailer is High Lonesome. Opening quarter, 29-1. Ty Cobb Hanover in command of the pace. A length ahead of Wicked Mask. Mossy Creek on the outside, inching a closer second. On the inside, it's Compliance racing in third. Hampton's Jim Bob, the favorite, is on the move, second over with cover. Curve off the turn. They race for the half. Ty Cobb Hanover leads the way on the outside. Mossy Creek grinding out a tough first over trip. Wicked Mask right there in the pocket. Hampton's Jim Bob settling up on the outside. Compliance hugs the rail on the outside. Weathered is third over, half-timed in 59-2. Ty Cobb Hanover in command. On the outside, it's Mossy Creek. Wicked Mask is right there in third. And now Morgan sends Hampton's Jim Bob 3 wide. Also moving up 3 wide is Weathered. Midway of the backstretch, Ty Cobb Hanover under pressure. Here comes Hampton's Jim Bob. Weathered right in behind him. 3/4, 129 flat. And now Hampton's Jim Bob hard pressed to take the lead. Weathered quickly engages him, and now Weathered paces on by. An eighth of a mile to go. It's Weathered opening up around the turn. Weathered leads the way. Hampton's Jim Bob is beat. Weathered is drawing off. In the stretch, Weathered well in hand. Impressively, Hampton's Jim Bob second, close for third, High Lonesome, 157-2. Top of the stretch, picking up speed. Field of 8 lining up, and here they come. They're off with Javaro showing pace on the inside. Maru's Robbie in the middle of the track also left well. And on the far outside, Nonstop John looking for early position. Javaro, your leader. On the outside, Maru's Robbie quickly up to challenge. Nice and feisty right there in third. Nonstop John up on the rim in fourth. A length back to Lucky Chris. Another length back to Fox Valley Dakota. 2 back to Hey Daddy Hey. And your trailer is Blazing Narrow. Unsettling pace up top. Maru's Robbie leads, but not for long. Here comes Nonstop John. Quick quarter, 28-4. And now Nonstop John takes command of the track. Maru's Robbie yields second. On the outside, Nice and Feisty will take a run at the leader. Javaro to the inside of him. Lucky Chris off the cones for Holiday, followed up closely by Fox Valley Dakota. On the inside, Blazing Narrow under pressure. Far back, Hey Daddy Hey. Nice and Feisty takes command for Heitman off the half, 58 seconds. Nice and Feisty leads. Nonstop John tracking in second on the outside. Here comes Lucky Chris. Maru's Robbie races fourth. Fox Valley Dakota gapping cover in fifth. Javaro is hemmed in. On the inside, Blazing Narrow. Hey Daddy Hey makes his bid from last. Midway up the backstretch, Nice and Feisty. The one to catch, Lucky Chris under urging. Nonstop John is right there in third. 3/4, 127-4. Nice and Feisty on the inside. On the outside, it's Lucky Chris. Nonstop John poised in the pocket for Morgan. On the outside, it's Maru's Robbie. Javaro shoots through the inside. Top of the stretch, Nice and Feisty leads the way. Lucky Chris won't go away. He's coming on again. It's Nice and Feisty. Lucky Chris is bearing down. Nice and Feisty, Lucky Chris. Nice and Feisty. In front, Lucky Chris, Nonstop John. Top of the stretch, field of 8 lining up as they approach the start. Here they come. They're off. Cool Mister firing out aggressively from the outside. On the inside, Razzie Red in between horses. King's Cub is there. It's a battle for the lead. Razzie Red, Cool Mister will do battle off the turn. On the outside, King's Cub up on the rim. Bold and Sassy came away fourth with inside position. Then a length back to Shokin in the hole. Lit a Guy, followed by High Camark and Sweet Baby Ray. Sweet past the quarter, 28-3. Field begins to settle down with Cool Mister in command of the pace. A length ahead of Razzie Red, another length back to King's Cub. On the outside, Shokin in the hole. Bids first over. Followed up closely by High Camark. Bold and Sassy is pushed back. On the inside, Little Guy. Sweet Baby Ray is on the move as he joins the second tier. Racing for the half, it's Cool Mister. On the outside, Shokin in the hole, inching his way forward. Razzie Red right there in behind the leader. Half-timed in 59-2. Cool Mister leads. Pressure from Shokin in the hole. He's right off his flank. Razzie Red poised in the pocket on the outside. High Camark getting the second over trip. Sweet Baby Ray is there. King's Cub on the inside along with Bold and Sassy. And now Little Guy drives from last. Racing for the final quarter. Shokin in the hole. Hard pressed to lead. And now clears 3 parts of length. Cool Mister's battling back. 3/4, 129-2. Shokin in the hole takes command with 3/16 to go. It's Shokin in the hole. Cool Mister trying to come back. Sweet Baby Ray on the outside, racing third. Razzie Red needs racing room. They come to the corner. It's Shokin in the hole, going a big heat. Shokin in the hole, opening up the lead with every stride. The race is for second. Cool Mister. Here comes Razzie Red. It's all Shokin in the hole. Razzie Red second. Cool Mister third. 158-3.
So available. Good luck.
Top of the stretch, here they come. They're off. Far outside, Silver Wolf showing speed. In between horses, it's Sunny Freedom. And on the rail, Nice and Proud now comes through. Nice and Proud. Midway around the turn leads the way. Here comes Sunny Freedom. Oil Driller came away in third. On the outside, Silver Wolf racing fourth. Legit 2 is fifth. And then a break in the action. About 6 lengths back to J.E. Big Red. Another length back to Corky's Hoss and Man Game. Why Not Me is on the move from last. Opening quarter, 28-4. Sunny Freedom now takes command of the pace. The favorite leads it. Nice and Proud will gladly take the trip. Silver Wolf, the veteran, parked on the outside third. He's in for a long trip. On the inside, Oil Driller racing fourth. Legit 2 is fifth. J.E. Big Red, Why Not Me, and Corky's Hoss and Man Game trails. Sunny Freedom on top of length. Silver Wolf grinding out a tough first over trip. Nice and Proud right there in the pocket, half-timed in 58-1. It's Sunny Freedom, your leader. Silver Wolf hangs tough second. Nice and Proud racing third. Legit 2 on the move with cover. On the inside, it's Oil Driller, Why Not Me racing in the outer flow. J.E. Big Red and Corky's Hoss and Man Game off the turn. Race up the backstretch, Sunny Freedom in command of the pace. Here comes Legit 2, surging 3 wide around Silver Wolf. Silver Wolf isn't finished. Nice and Proud right there in behind the leader. 3/4, 129 straight. Sunny Freedom leads the way. Nice and Proud now angles off the cones. He'll take a shot at Sunny Freedom with less than 1/8 of a mile to go. It's Sunny Freedom, and here comes Nice and Proud off the perfect trip. It's Nice and Proud now, gobbling up Sunny Freedom. Nice and Proud, well handled to win it. Sunny Freedom and Oil Driller.
Analog the value. He's at 11-1. 2, 4, 8, 9. I think the other competitors, Quinella trifecta wagering 4 minutes.
Top of the stretch, field of 8. Lining up, picking up speed. Here they come. They're off. Joe Mars Jr. sends Broadway Jazz out aggressively. AJ's dad left as well. On the far outside, those two joined by Chicago Jazz. Battle for position. AJ's dad in between horses. Chicago Jazz, 3 off the rail. Broadway Jazz on the inside. Those 3, 2 lengths ahead of Fabulous Finale, settling in fourth. Then a break of 4 to Willie Buck. Another gap of 2 to Something's Brewing. A length and a half back to Broadway Bastion. Your trailer Mordred. Off the quarter, 28 seconds. It's the favorite, AJ's dad. Former Illinois Horse of the Year in command of the fractions. Leads at a length over Broadway Jazz. Chicago Jazz right in behind him. A length and a half back to Fabulous Finale. Willie Buck, the first to pull. On the outside, Something's Brewing. Broadway Bastion and Mordred. Second tier takes form. Approaching the half, AJ's dad still in command, leads the way off the half, 57-3, 29-3 second quarter for AJ's dad. On top by 2, Chicago Jazz. Racing in the pocket on the outside. On the inside, Fabulous Finale racing third, Willie Buck in fourth. Here comes Something's Brewing, Mordred finds an inside lane. Broadway Bastion at the end. Midway up the backstretch, AJ's dad leads the way. Broadway Jazz now off the cones and on the attack for Joe Mars Jr. 3/4, 127 straight. Here comes Broadway Jazz. Quickly up to engage AJ's dad. Fabulous Finale getting the good inside trip. Willie Buck on the outside, poised and ready to strike. Top of the lane, here comes Broadway Jazz, and now Broadway Jazz has put away AJ's dad, and striding out a late rally on the far outside by Broadway Bastion, it's Broadway Jazz. AJ's dad hangs on for a second, 157-1.
From last 2 starts ago cost him any chance, but he redeemed himself last week with a tremendous first over effort. Those will be the 2 favorites. The value horse, number 4.
Top of the stretch. Here they come. They're off. Craig's Crown, Sulin Dan, both showing early pace. And now Sulin Dan clear from the pack as they race into the first turn. Opens up a 2-length advantage. Robert Wolf in between horses. Menace to Society on the inside. Craig's Crown racing a bit wide. On the inside, it's Ticked Off. On the outside, Almost Alpo. Comes AJ's Majesty and Orbisong. Field's pretty stacked up as they race for the opening quarter. Sulin Dan, your leader. Pressure from Robert Wolf. Craig's Crown up on the rim in third. Menace to Society racing along the rail. Quarter timed at 29-4. Sulin Dan leads the way. Robert Wolf racing in second. Menace to Society third. On the outside, Craig's Crown racing fourth. Almost Alpo up on the rim in fifth. Also moving up on the outside, Orbisong. Ticked Off is pushed back. AJ's Majesty trails the field, but on the move. 4 in, 4 out as they race by the half. Sulin Dan still in command of the pace. Leads the way by the half, 101 and 2. It's Sulin Dan. Craig's Crown, pressure on the outside. On the inside, Robert Wolf. Almost Alpo's been parked from the word go. He's second over. Menace to Society racing along the inside. Along with Ticked Off, he's hemmed in. Orbisong and AJ's Majesty still has a good 6 to make up with a little more than a quarter of a mile to go. Sulin Dan maintains the lead. Craig's Crown not going away, going a long mile. Robert Wolf in between horses. Here comes Ticked Off. 3/4, 131 and 3. Sulin Dan leads, and now Craig's Crown's had enough. Robert Wolf, the main threat, Ticked Off, rallying from fourth. They come to the corner. It's Sulin Dan. Here comes Robert Wolf. It's Sulin Dan and Robert Wolf now homing in. Sulin Dan, Robert Wolf trying to get at him. Sulin Dan in front. Robert Wolf Ticked Off third in 2:01 and 1. Top of the stretch. Field's all in line. Here they come. They're off. Good start. 4 horses going after the lead. In between horses, Carolina Matthew will test the front end this week. On the inside, Sportsmaster came away well. On the outside, San Jose Jeff, Rakish Hanover right there with the leaders as the field settles in around the turn. And comes Cassie's Ruler. A length back to Sand Keen Edge. Another length and a half back to King's Run. Next bonus trails early on. Approaching the quarter. Winning quarter timed in 28 and 1. And it's Carolina Matthew, your leader. San Jose Jeff will take the trip. A length back to Sportsmaster racing in third. On the outside, here comes Cassie's Ruler. Followed up closely by Sand Keen Edge. King's Run also on the move. Rakish Hanover shuffled back. Next bonus is on the move from last. 4 in, 4 out. As they race for the half, Carolina Matthew is the favorite and your leader. Pressure on the outside from Cassie's Ruler, half-timed in 59 and 1. Carolina Matthew leads the way. Cassie's Ruler, the challenger, San Jose Jeff, getting the perfect trip. On the outside, it's Sand Keen Edge. King's Run bits 3 wide as he surges on past Sand Keen Edge. And now quickly up to challenge. Carolina Matthew leads. Pace picks up. Here's King's Run. King's Run on a power sweep. In between horses, Cassie's Ruler on the inside. Carolina Matthew still there. 3/4, 129 and 4. And now King's Run starting to get away from this field. It's King's Run with 3/16 to go. Opening up the lead with every stride, Carolina Matthew starting to come back a bit. On the inside, San Jose Jeff needs racing room. Top of the stretch. Your leader is King's Run. Carolina Matthew is coming on again. A late rally by Rakish Hanover. In deep stretch, it's King's Run pulling off the mile upset. Close for second.
First time Lasix last week pulled off the upset at 9-1 for Homer. And 9, Ken's Bunny went to the lead and gave it up. But you have 6 of the 9 horses here that bankrolled over $100,000. Classy field here. Exacta and trifecta wagering. The
Here they come. They're off. Dual Fiddle Skipper going right to the top. Broadway Mariah moving right with him. Jeffrey's Pet now secures early position. They race out of the first turn. Then it's a gap of 3 to Idiom. Racing in fourth. Another length and a half back to Holly Hill Fashion. Field curves off the turn. They race up the backstretch. Broadway Mariah the Roan on top by 2. Over Dual Fiddle Skipper. Jeffrey's Pet 4 lengths off in third. Then a break of 5 to Idiom in Holly Hill Fashion. Off that quarter, 28 seconds flat, quick quarter, Broadway Mariah. Racing on the lead with a 1-length advantage over Dual Fiddle Skipper. Jeffrey's Pet racing in third. Idiom tries from last. Also on to move Holly Hill Fashion. Passed by the stands for the first time, no change up top. Your leader is Broadway Mariah. Here comes Holly Hill Fashion with an aggressive move. Dual Fiddle Skipper content to sit in the pocket. On the outside, Idiom gapping cover. Jeffrey's Pet now shuffled back about 5 lengths off the lead, half-timed in 58-2. Broadway Mariah leads the way. On the outside, Holly Hill Fashion, Dual Fiddle Skipper racing in the pocket. Idiom right there in fourth. Jeffrey's Pet only 5 to make up with a quarter of a mile to go. And now Holly Hill Fashion goes on by. Holly Hill Fashion leads the way. Broadway Mariah will have to do more. Idiom is on the move, 3/4, 127-1. It's Holly Hill Fashion. A little more than an eighth of a mile to go. Idiom is on the attack. Here comes Jeffrey's Pet. And now following up him, Dual Fiddle Skipper. They come to the corner. It's Holly Hill Fashion, your leader, Idiom. And now Jeffrey's Pet is turning it on. It's Holly Hill Fashion. Here comes Jeffrey's Pet. Holly Hill Fashion. In front, Jeffrey's Pet. Idiom third in 156-4.
A trifecta wagering. Good luck.
Field of 8 moves off the turn as they position themselves for a start. Here they come. They're off. He's a hit on the inside, left hard. In between horses, it's HP's Bad Boy. Those two joined by Classic's Pretty Boy. They race into the first turn. He's a hit. Leads the way, HP's Bad Boy. Looks to drop in behind second. Anxious Roscoe off third. On the outside, Classic's Pretty Boy racing in fourth. To the inside of him, it's Pirate Skip. A length back to Ironbrook's Gold, Slumlord, and West Broadway. Racing for the quarter, he's a hit, leads. Classic's Pretty Boy up on the rim. Opening quarter, 29-1. He's a hit, a length. On the outside, Classic's Pretty Boy. On the inside, it's HP's Bad Boy. Anxious Roscoe racing in fourth. Ironbrook's Gold up on the rim in fifth. Slumlord saves ground in sixth. Racing in seventh to the half. It's Pirate Skip. Your trailer being outpaced at this point, West Broadway. He's a hit. 3 parts of a length. Pressure from Classic's Pretty Boy. They have timed and a minute flat. He's a hit, leads. Classic's Pretty Boy going a tough trip. HP's Bad Boy right there in behind the leader. Ironbrook's Gold following cover. Anxious Roscoe saves ground. Pirate Skip, Slumlord, and West Broadway. 3/8 of a mile to go. He's a hit under pressure. Here comes Joe Marsh Jr. and Ironbrook's Gold. They're on the attack. Classic's Pretty Boy won't give it up in between horses. On the outside, Ironbrook's Gold muscling his way on by, but he's a hit. Responding to the pressure and coming back. 3/4, 130-4. Midway around the turn, he's a hit. Ironbrook's Gold, these two going strides apart. Classic's Pretty Boy racing on the outside. Pirate Skip launching from fifth. Top of the stretch, I'm Brooks Gold on the outside, now takes a short lead, and now drawing off in the stretch. It's I'm Brooks Gold, your leader. He's a hit, racing in second. I'm Brooks Gold in front. He's a hit, close for third and fourth, the mile 2:01. Alvaro, have a great evening. Drive carefully. Now one more to go at Balmoral.
This is Balmoral's 10th race, Exacta Superfecta.